What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and
welcome to a game
been
that
a
really
while.
should have pulses
Work
racing.
is
Every
crazy as
reason to
hell.
believe this
I've
will
been
be
working
enthralling.
weekends, which
I'm
has
Derek Ray,
cut
and
me
my
off
commentary partner here on the
from
gantry is the former
having
Arsenal
time
and
to
West
record
Ham
and
player
having the
Stuart
energy
Robson.
to
And
record.
on the menu today,
I actually
action
worked
from the
13 straight
NWSL.
days at one
It's the
point,
Washington Spirit, and they take on
which
Gotham
was only
FC.
broken
Yes,
up
thanks as always, Derek. We've got two
by
good teams
the
here,
last
so
federal
I'm
holiday.
anticipating a really good game. The
Now
atmosphere is
I'm in
electric
a
inside
run
the
of,
stadium before kick-off, and hopefully we're not
well, no,
disappointed.
I worked this weekend as well. I'm off today, which is Sunday, June 23rd. Then I work all next week. I think I'm off next weekend, maybe.
This
I
is
know I have at
Magus for
least
the
one
home
more
side.
weekend to work.
Well, in this
It's
shape,
been a
if their
while,
wide
but
players stay high up the pitch
I
and
really
get
love
enough
my
of the ball,
job,
it's
and
a
I
very
love what I
attacking
do,
lineup.
and
If
it's
they drop
very,
too
very
deep, they will then leave the centre forward
entertaining.
isolated, and it could
It's
be
very,
difficult
very
for them.
fulfilling. So, no complaints other than it has worn me the fuck out and have kept me from recording and talking to you guys. So, apologies. In the last 2-3 weeks, I forget how much time has
Let's
passed.
have a look at the
Again,
initial 11 for
work's
the
been
visitors.
crazy, and
Well,
I
it's great
am
to see a
losing
team
track of
playing with
time.
wingers in a
But in that
4-3-3,
period,
but they've got to be effective both
missed a
with their
lot of
dribbling
things.
and their crosses. Otherwise,
In
they
particular
become
with gaming,
two-part
of
players.
course. Being June, we had the Summer Game Fest. We had a Nintendo Direct. We had the Xbox Showcase. We had a Sony State of Play. And from what I could see, I haven't been able to sit and watch them all. And I'm gonna have to take some time off of work after this whirlwind period, because I just need to relax. I need to catch up, and I need to get back to,
And now
you
they
know,
get the ball rolling.
I won't say normal, but get back to being level on being up to date with current events. But in any
He's made
case,
a really good
from what I
intervention
understand,
there.
Microsoft killed it. From what I saw, too, I could see that Microsoft
Sullivan.
had a ton of things to announce. Of course, it's not just going to be Xbox exclusive stuff,
decent-looking
as their
attack here.
strategy has
And
changed,
that is
and they're going to
offside.
be, having some things be on all platforms, or at least on Sony platforms, as well as Xbox and PC. And then, of course, you have Xbox and PC for quote-unquote Microsoft exclusive, which, again,
No mistake by the keeper.
it's not really doing
Now,
much
can she
for
put
the
this one
console
away?
itself, but for the brand, which,
Superb stop.
as I've said many times, which is the most important thing, it looks like they're going to be doing very, very well. You're getting another Doom game. They showed the Call of Duty. People are excited about that. Is it Black Ops 6? I can't believe it's that many Black Ops games out there. Good Lord. That franchise never die. I swear.
Who's going to
It's
get on the end of it?
basically
And that's
Call
very
of Duty
confident goalkeeping in
is
not easy circumstances.
like sports games, Just expect one every year, and don't expect much to change. Just an update.
Martin.
But it works, and it makes them a ton of money. So, hey, it is what it is. But
Very quick thinking there.
Microsoft seems to have a lot of exciting things. Nintendo, I've heard a lot of people say that they pretty much had the
Saad.
best showing of them all.
In a position
Which is
from
cool.
which they could potentially do a bit of damage.
Nintendo, again, as I've said before, Nintendo is that company that
Powerful effort.
they just mind their
Close.
business and they keep to their strategy. They're not worried about what the other people do. They're not trying to outmaneuver everybody else. They're trying to satisfy their customer base, which is how a lot of successful businesses are ran. You find your market, you find your target audience, and you make sure to keep them in. Try to develop a strategy to draw other
Emily
people.
Sonnet.
That doesn't mean that I have to go at my competition. I have to
Well, using the space
actively,
really well.
openly
Now can they
compete with
push on?
them and throw shots and stuff like that.
Awarded.
I do it by providing the things that I know that their customers would like, and try to incorporate that into my strategy. Don't have to be no spiteful, hateful, battle. Which brings me to the major point of my talk about all of these shows. So, a lot of people, of course, are still complaining because we don't have the same E3 magic that we used to have. You know, the whole everybody takes the stage at a different time, and then we like rate who outdid who, things like that. The level of competitiveness is kind of lost because everybody picks and chooses their own date, their own venue, their own time, how they would like to do it. Of course, there's still people out there who try to talk about it as if it's E3. But Summer Games Fest, you know, it's not a contentious battleground. State of play, definitely. Like Sony, the way they do things, they're not. I mean, they're not even going to be at Gamescom, from what I hear. They're just going to do what they're going to do. And same thing with Nintendo. Whereas Microsoft seems to be the one that's still tries to hover around these grand events with their presentations, even though they still also do independent things outside of the normal box. And it's left us with kind of a situation where you don't get that quote-unquote grand old feeling. You know, at first I kind of felt that way, but as I started to think about it, I always thought, I feel like this is better for these companies, and it's better for getting messages out about specific game. Not having to like make this whole grand presentation where you throw out a lot of things. You pay money to be the one to debut a third party's product on your stage, so you can make it look like you're outdoing your competition and all that. You just do a nice, simple format. Put it out there. It's on the internet. We're all going to go watch the videos anyway. We're all going to pick and choose our trailers that we want to see anyway. You just take out the pomp and circumstances, and it's just a more straightforward message, which is fine. I'm all for that because things evolve, and you would like to think people would evolve, but that's not the case, and I think that's why a lot of us still sit here and complain about not having E3, because it's funny. I was sitting here thinking about this when I was reading something in the news or watching something, like some journalists talk about things, and it's amazing to me that, again, in a time where we have all these advancements, it feels like the more we advance, the more people cling to want to go back. And I think part of the reason why it seems that way, at least to me, is because with the internet technology and stuff like that, how we're able to archive and keep information and reintroduce it back as quickly as possible. Like before, stuff was just retold to you. Up until probably the 70s, 80s, you didn't have a library of stuff, of like video media to go back to easily go back to, I should say, in reference. Stuff like YouTube. YouTube, we can relive all the E3 moments that we want. To this day, one of the biggest moments ever in Evo, the counter. Everybody posts that over and over again every time there's Evo about to start. You're able to so quickly reference and get those nostalgia hits now, because everything's right there for you, that you can cling to the past a lot more than you could before. Like before, it was like it was literally a distant memory, where again, I can literally just type in a Google search and pull up that like memory where I couldn't before. There's no separation between times and eras and things like that. So the pining becomes harder, and the desire to go back is a lot, more prevalent to us, and is a lot more, accessible, easy. I could go on a rant about this in a lot of ways. I mean, shit. Politically speaking, we're seeing that pining for the old ways. Things like, because you're a lot more connected to it now than you were before. It's not just a story that you hear from your grandparents. You can see that story. So, I don't know. I'm fine with there being no E3, no huge event. I think that
and the referee has added,
it's not that hard to adjust.
And that, a piece of goalkeeping you're going to see.
You just have to evolve. I mean, things change. That's just the way it is. Things change all the time. So I don't know, but I have to go back and look at some of the stuff and see what I really like, and then try to talk about it. Again, these next 2 weeks are going to be the final run for the craziness at work. Hopefully, maybe. Part of me kind of hope it's not, because I'm enjoying the ride as well as being worn out by it. But would like to have more free time to engage in this. But that was the biggest stuff. Like, of course, there's a lot of stuff going on politically. The world is still trying to put itself out, from the fire. Sports, we're getting close to the Olympics. The Olympics is coming up. We're starting to see all the Olympic trials. People getting their spots on the Olympic teams. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. She's looking great. Glad to see her, be able to participate this time after the last time, family tragedy. And then, of course, people coming at her for the, testing positive for weed thing. Which, it's funny because now you see all the people who were chastising her, now all of a sudden they're their biggest fans. And again, it's just a sign of the times. You can turn on a dime on things, especially if you're trying to stay relevant and you're trying to go viral. It goes back to the Caitlin Clark stuff that I was talking about. All y'all motherfuckers don't really give a fuck about this shit, but it's going to get you ratings. It's going to get you eyeballs, views, whatever, however it is you want to call it. So you will indulge in it just to keep yourself relevant, And right now, Sha'Carri Richardson is the thing. I think, she's going to do well. I hope she gets the gold medal. That would be great to see her come from, that tragic moment where she lost her spot because after she lost her mom, she did a very human thing. And, in a moment of vulnerability, made a mistake. And now she gets to come back and hopefully have the experience that she was going to have. What was it, Tokyo? Yeah, back in Tokyo. And it kind of works out even better because now that we're post-pandemic, things are sort of normal. So she'll have, she'll be able to do it in front of people like she was able to win the trials in front of her grandmother and share that moment after she won and get the hug from her grandmother in the stands. That was a beautiful moment. So you'll get that stuff again. Now that the pandemic's over, we're having crowds and things like that. So should be cool. Hopefully he does well. Hope everybody who the U.S. team competes and does well. Hope all the athletes do well. And I hope this is going to be a pretty good Olympics. Love to see Ukraine do well too, because going through all the struggle and the strife they're going through. I don't know if they're going to actually send. Are they sending athletes? If you know, please let me know. I hope they are, and I hope they're able to, have that moment, like where they have some gold medal winners, and be able to share that as a country, because that shit's fucked up over there still, and wish it would, and just for every place, like all the countries that are going through it. That's the one cool thing about the Olympics, is that through tragedy, strife, struggle, those athletes are able to go there, represent their country, compete, and for at least one time every 4 years, people from all different backgrounds, walks of lives can come together and compete and share, a common bond. Like, Olympics has always been that, like, one place, probably except for when Hitler was around, sadly, where nobody really put politics into the mix. These were all athletes who were just there, just living the dream of being a competitive athlete on the biggest stage, So, hey, hopefully that's what we'll get from this Olympics, as we've gotten from many others. So yeah, the Kendrick Lamar thing hopefully ain't over yet, I guess. He did a Juneteenth concert where they Not Like Us 5 times in a row, I heard. And he, speaking of unity, he brought together the entire city of LA, including the gangs, on stage, and they walked it out peacefully to that song. Crazy, crazy. It's funny because, also, speaking of They're Not Like Us, this is my old man nostalgia probably kicking in, but can y'all think of a song that has been that, like, summer jam? Like, I remember it was always a big thing to talk about what is that one summer tune that you're going to hear at all the cookouts, all the time on the radio, all the clubs, everywhere you go, everybody's bopping that song. I can't recall in a very long time when, like, there was a song like that level. When I'm talking about, like, that jam, it's like, showing my age, remembering when Will Smith did Summertime. Summertime was, like, the year that it came out, it was the summer jam, and it became kind of like the summer anthem as we, moved on. But it was one of those things, it was like everybody wanted to hear it everywhere you go. It wasn't just limited by age, like, sex. I will say maybe race for that song, but for the most part, at least within the Black and other minority communities, maybe, Summertime was what you heard. All the stations, everywhere. Somebody's car, coming out of somebody's window, walking by their house, all that. I feel like They Not Like Us is kind of bringing back those kind of feels for me, because it doesn't matter. It's so weird. Other day, watching a video where there's a video of the original lady who does the voice for the Amazon devices. I can't say her name because if I do, she'll respond to me. My Echo device is actually right next to me right now, so I don't want to relive that moment. But they were having her have a conversation with an Echo, and of course they said the command, and the command asked them. The command was to play your most favorite playlist. Now, I don't have a playlist set on my Echo device, but my Echo device responded and said, "You don't have a playlist, but let me play what's most popular right now for you." First thing it played, They Not Like Us. This is my Echo device doing this. They were like, based on what you've listened to before, I listened to a lot of hip hop, R&B. It said, here, this is probably what you want to listen to. And that was the first thing that came on. Get into, someone's car, turn on Sirius XM. That's the first thing to come on. I have Sirius XM on my phone. That was the first thing that came on. It's everywhere. And I don't know if we've ever, could you say that, could somebody name me, because I'm not as versed on modern music, because, again, I'm old, and, us old people are, we have something to say about your young folks stuff. I don't really care for most modern hip-hop, so, I can't say to what would be the equivalent of that, but just musically in general, what was that summer anthem that you could most recently think about that, no matter where you were, you couldn't escape it. It was everywhere. Everybody's vibing to it. It's always something that's being played heavily. But hats off to Kendrick Lamar. This has become a huge phenomenon. And who would have thought, too, that the summer anthem would be a diss track? I can't, again, if you could think of a diss track that became the summer anthem, I'd be glad to hear that, too. But, yeah. Things have been cool otherwise. Again, just trying to get through this work period. Trying to basically take care of some stuff that I need to make life better. Still a struggle in that department. But, it is what it is. Works well. And, I'm thankful to be blessed with that, And I'm thankful to be blessed with you guys who watch. Still, always appreciate you. And will forever be grateful for you vibing with me. Alright, y'all. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video. And hopefully I'll have some more stuff for you guys in the near future. Alright, so as always, you guys, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This is your boy Blak Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.